Two things really quick. First, there's a hurricane coming towards us, so pray for me. You know, we do pretty good, but you know, big hurricanes, we love them, we hate them, good times. The second thing is I need your help. I am totally running out of ideas on what to cover in Lightroom because I have covered so much on my YouTube channel regarding Lightroom that I feel like I've covered everything. Not to mention, I have an entire Lightroom Master of Editing course that I covered literally everything there is to know about Lightroom. So if there's something specific that you are unsure of or have not sure how to do, comment on this video, let me know so I can get more ideas on what to create. And who knows, I probably created a video specifically for that already even still. But for this video, we're gonna go over my personal favorite tools that I use on almost every single edit. And you know what? They might surprise you. So it's not gonna be a long video because I gotta get back home and, you know, get ready for the hurricane. So let's just get into it, shall we? What's up everybody? I'm Will, but you know that. So let's just get into Lightroom because we don't have time to waste. Here we are in Lightroom, and fun fact about this photo, this is from my personal engagement shoot with my now wife, soon to be mother of my child, and I took this photo. I set it up on a tripod, I have a trigger in hand, and I did our entire engagement shoot all by myself. The first one is, let's just go ahead and put a little preset on here with my light and airy presets from my website. So we're gonna pop this on and then we're gonna make this a little bit more moody and folly. So the first thing we're gonna do is press the white balance tool and just make it more folly. Now the first thing that I always do on all of my images is set the white and black points. So I push Alt or Option, I click the white slider and you see white. That is too much white. Let's lower this down till just a shade right there. Then we're gonna do the same thing with the black point. Now, fun fact about the black point. If I click Alt or Option, click the black point, slide it all the way down, you notice there's no true blacks. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know why. You are saying in your head, Will, that's because the black point in the tone curve is clicked up. So we're gonna drag this down to make true black exist in the photo again. Go back to basic point, push Alt or Option, click the black point, slide it down till we see a little bit of black, and boom, we have our perfect black and white points. Now, one thing I do notice is there's a little too much green in this image, so we're just gonna raise the magenta up just a shade. Now, the next thing I do on almost all of my images is noise reduction. I have found that if you don't push your ISO too much, I mean, you can push it, but if you don't go too crazy, you can usually get away with this combination, which is totally adjustable on every image. So make sure color has 25. Actually, I'm gonna show you first. So let's zoom in so you can really see what we're doing. You see the color noise? You can really see it there. So we're gonna put 25 in the color noise, right? That pretty much handles it right there. But to handle the rest of the noise, we're gonna do sharpening. Generally, it's set at 40, so we're gonna put it at 40. We're gonna put the luminance noise reduction at 60, and that generally handles everything. Now, we're gonna do the masking. So push Alt or Option on your keyboard, slide it until you see just the edges where you want it. Generally, I go about 80, 70, whatever works for your image, but that pretty much clears up all the noise. And that is very, very usable in almost every single photo. Adjust as needed based on the noise. You only go to a point where your noise is completely gone. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it, do it just right. Okay, the next thing is masking. This is where I do almost 90% of my edits because it's ability to shape the image, the light, the way you want it. Global adjustments, which is what we were doing, are great, but this is way better. So first thing we're gonna do is press Shift W to open up the masking. We're gonna press Select Subject. Now, sometimes, this is very important, sometimes your select subject isn't that accurate, especially when there's a lot of people, big groups, or if there's random things that are close in color. In this case, it did a great job. But let's say we had a weird addition that we needed to remove. So what you're gonna do is first get out of your mask, press Shift W, so we're back in global, push and hold Command, Alt or Command, I believe, Alt on a PC, Command on a Mac, and you can draw a box over where you can zoom in easily. Go back into the mask, Shift W, and you see how we have this selection here. We're gonna subtract and select brush, and we're going to make these adjustments. Now, if we wanted to do a background layer, do this first. If we want to do a background selection, do all of these adjustments in your select subject first. The reason I say that is because if you were to do a select background as is, you're simply going to get the opposite of this mask as Lightroom sees it. But if we make all of these adjustments, let's say we've done all of our adjustments, and press these three dots and press duplicate and invert, we're going to get a background mask with our adjustments pre-made. This saves you so much time if you're doing a select subject and a select background. So do your select subject, make your adjustments, duplicate and invert. There you go. Now, a couple of tips to make your subject pop off of the background. So what we're gonna do first is brighten up our subject. We're gonna scroll down to dehaze and we're gonna give them about 5 points, about 5 points of dehaze. Then we're gonna select the background mask and make sure you rename them. It's so much easier. And I just do BG and sub. It's just so much easier to keep track, especially if you copy and paste it to other images. So with the background, do the opposite. We're gonna raise the lower the dehaze. It makes it a little bit smoother, a little bit hazier, and then we're gonna darken it a little. This makes your subjects pop. Now you can do one more thing where you warm up your subjects and cool down the background. So we could add a little bit of coolness here, and we could go into our subjects and warm it up. This is simply going to just create more contrast. Now, once you've done that, a couple of other things you can do is use radials and linears. For example, press M on the keyboard for a linear, draw it up here, darken this section down. Use a radial. We're gonna create a really nice radial. We're gonna put it over here in this corner where the sun is shining. We're gonna raise the exposure. We're gonna raise the warmth. We're gonna drop the dehaze and the clarity, and we're gonna create an artificial sunburst. Then we're gonna create a new mask. We're gonna select the sky. Now, if your subjects are ever touching the sky at all, always do subtract subject. It always gets a little. By doing that, you get a more perfect mask. Then we're gonna lower, the exposure to get more interest back of the sky. We're actually gonna go back down to our radial. We're gonna lower this because it's too much. Create another linear over here, darken that down, and then we're gonna create another radial, make this a little bit bigger. We're going to subtract our subjects and we're just gonna make this brighter. Again, separation. Your subject separation from the background makes a huge difference. And the last thing I do on almost all of my photos with subjects is I apply my skin, eye, teeth preset. This is simply doing select people, their eyes, brightening their eyes, selecting their skin, softening their skin, selecting their teeth, and brightening their skin. This preset, I did a video of this. I'll link it in the description for you to watch, but I just apply this and it does it on every single person. See, it doesn't register there because there's no eye, so we delete this, but it's super, super fast. So here's the before, here's the after, and there we have it. Those are the main things I do in almost every image. Now, the thing is, they always are adjusted for that image, but I always use those tools. Those are the main tools I'm always using. So if you want to check out the presets, I'll link them in the description. They're on my website. If you want to check out my Lightroom editing course, again, I'll link it in the description. And there you have it. That's the video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, wish me good luck on my hurricane journeys, and I'll see you in the next video.